Good evening. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. Clicked on to long range weather forecast discussion for January 29th to February 10th. For the period January 29th to February 2nd, we're still forecasting a trough, very strong trough or upper low here over the Aleutians from the Bering Sea to up the west coast of Canada. We have a ridge in the west and we have a trough in the east. But the pattern will go through a transition, and we're going to show you this. We're going to go now to February 2nd, and you see what happens. Trough kind of like builds into the west. We have a ridge in the east. The models are in good agreement with this. This is the GFS ensembles. The European deterministics, European ensembles, and the Canadian ensembles. Some of the models are also indicating a possibility of a split flow later in the period. And we're going to have this trough through the period will remain in place across this area. And we have positive height anomalies across northern Canada with negative height anomalies over Greenland. Precipitation during this period will be across California, the Great Basin, the central and southern Rockies, into the Central Plains. We're going to look now at the period for February 1st to the 5th. Here we are at the 3rd. The trough area bearings over the Bering Sea extends into the west. And we have a ridge near or along the east coast. I'm going to go now to the 5th. See, we have a trough here, pretty much of a zone of flow, weak flow, but very strong positive height anomalies here. Negative height anomalies across this region. And during this period, the NAO and the AO indexes are forecast to be positive. Now, on another note, weak warm is going on over the poles, combined with a negative EPO, could lead to colder air into the Northern Rockies, Northern Plains later in the period. And kind of shows indications of this right here. So during this forecast period, I am forecasting below normal temperatures here, above normal temperatures east of the Mississippi River. Across here, I'm forecasting anomalies to be 6 to 9 degrees below normal, and here temperatures would be about at least 9 degrees above normal. For precipitation, calling for above normal precipitation here, below normal precipitation for Texas. We're going to look now at the period for February 6th to the 10th. Here we are at the 6th, and the pattern becomes more amplified. We have a ridge that begins to build into the west, and the western trough begins to slide eastward. Now we see a return of positive height anomalies across the northern latitudes. This is a GFS, and we go now to the end of the period. You see the trough now is into the east. Ridge here, our trough remains in place. Still positive height anomalies here. Now, one thing to note, the GFS depicts cold, but the ensemble and the weeklies are more conservative. And the MJO is strengthening across some of the milder phases for the eastern U.S. This goes against the intense cold that GFS is forecasting. We'll take a look at the temperature anomalies. This is the GFS, and you can see how much, so look at the cold that it's forecasting compared to the ensembles, the European deterministics, the European ensembles, and I don't have the Canadian. But look at this compared to this. So during this forecast period, I am forecasting above normal temperatures here, and for the northern mid-Atlantic and the Northeast, below normal temperatures across this region. Across the above normal temperature areas, temperatures are forecast to be 3 to 9 degrees, above normal, and here temperature will be 3 to 9 degrees below normal. For precipitation, it's starting to look more typical of an El Nino pattern, above normal. No, it isn't indicative of a El Nino. It's usually the opposite. Above normal precipitation here and below normal precipitation for this region. So that is a long-range weather forecast discussion for January 29th through February 10th. Thanks for coming to Jim Munley's World of Weather, and have a good day.